slide? We're going to go backwards to the deck. Here we are. It's really exciting to round out this set of presentations, especially. I'm in a lot of inspiring companies, and I'm always really inspired. The mic isn't on. How about now? Yes. To hear about all this sort of deep tech innovation happening, our thesis and conviction is that in the built environment, the solutions we need to decarbonize the building stock, the materials already exist. And the major gap to close is implementation and execution. We work to connect supply and demand. C-Scale is the connective tissue bringing together desire for better buildings with decarbonized and resilient supply chains. I founded this company with my co-founder, Brad. He comes from 25 years as an architect, delivered projects like the YouTube headquarters, and left that career to come on this journey and really focus on solving the problems that he's faced in practice for a decade and a half. Over the course of the last 15, 16 months, we've scaled tremendously. We work with over 40% of the large design and engineering firms in the US and globally with building product manufacturers from new, relatively immature companies to the incumbents, and have been approached and work with a number of the hyperscalers, universities, and even some of the large AEC software companies in this space. The problem that we essentially solve is this matching problem. Designers on these projects are looking for better materials, wasting time and fee in a professional services industry to find them, while manufacturers are trying to find the right projects to get specified on so that they can cross the valley of death, scale production, and really solve the go-to-market problems that they face bringing low-carbon materials to market. This is an enormous market really characterized by sales and marketing spend by these manufacturers, wasted money with trade shows, cold calls, and strategies for getting specified that don't scale. Over the course of the last 16 months, our core innovation has been building predictive workflow tools for designers and engineers to choose better materials and understand the impact of their decisions early in the process, where it's a designer-led activity focused on decisions rather than a compliance activity, right, led by consultants. And this really has been our core innovation and has given us the right to this market where all of these decisions are being made and buildings find supply chains and vice versa. On the other side, we take all of that input and those design workflows and use it to build large, unique data sets that can't be replicated by industry knowledge because this is all internal organization to these firms about what's getting specified, where, when, and under which criteria. These are unique signals that first-of-a-kind young manufacturers, people are going out there and trying to build business differentiation on the decarbonization of their supply chains need to get specified at scale. By solving this matching problem, we're able to make a really interesting and large market in the building materials space. Today, we're really focused on using the depth we have in this market to solve these matching problems. Over time, we're scaffolding that into an approach that broadly matches the sales spend that already happens in the building materials industry, which is really commission-driven, and it gives us an opportunity to, by this sort of matching that we do at scale, get a commission on this very large procurement market. It's a little tricky, buildings, because it's not direct procurement. And the best analogy that sort of exists here is pharma. The doctor writes the prescription, they don't spend the money, just like the architect writes the specification, right? But doesn't actually purchase the material. We see an analog here in the pharma space, and we see Doximity as a nice company to use as a, we'll say, precedent if people aren't familiar with the complexities of indirect procurement in buildings. We've been at this for the last year and a half, and we've seen a lot of value created on both sides of the market. We solve design problems for the architects and engineers that we work with, and for the manufacturers, we put them in front of the right project at the right time so they can get specified. And the data about these projects in the pipeline isn't available through any other platform. Every firm we work with has many projects. Every project specifies many materials. Every material choice can be served by many manufacturers. And we use this sort of factorial nature of this business to generate both leads for the manufacturer and high-value connections at scale for the designer. And this really is our business model multiplying across all of these factors in this equation. We opened up the manufacturer-facing platform in February this year after really focusing on owning the market for architects and engineers, and doubled our revenue in the first month or two and then doubled it again. We have 18 manufacturers signed up. We're signing people up at about the rate of 1 manufacturer a week to this platform because they see the unique sales intelligence that we're able to give them as they go to market as something not available anywhere else. We're in the middle of our seed raise right now, in flight with a number of funds, and we'd really look towards this pitch competition as a point of validation during this raise to help move this round towards a close. So thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Great job. Thank you so much. Would love to hear more as you're actually building the tool out and putting together these recommendations for materials choice. What are you considering and what metrics, what success metrics are you actually measuring against for each potential material that you suggest?
Yeah, our main sort of moat today is that there's 3 tools that do life cycle assessments, so whole life carbon performance for buildings. We are one and we acquired another in the past year. So this really is our moat, and our go-to-market strategy is to own the LCA workflows. We also see cost as an important other kind of factor here. And one of our pilots with a hyperscaler right now is about building cost carbon across their entire capital plan till 2050. And by owning these 2 things together, these are the major whole building decision frameworks that people use. There's all these small performance things they need to do to understand products, but we see cost and carbon as the kind of macro metrics that move this market and decisions in it.
Thank you. It's an impressive team with relevant expertise and some exciting traction. So you spoke a bit to the moat, but there are other ventures on the market. I've heard of one-click LCA and tangible materials. So can you speak more to how you all differentiate from the competition?
Totally. So for a long time, Tangible Materials was actually a customer of ours, using our data to power their product. As we went to market, we ended that relationship, I think, to just sort of, we'll say, like create, and they've pivoted mostly to being construction document management, which is like their sort of remit as they go into their next round. One-click LCA, large PE-backed European, they own the consultant workflows. Consultant workflows are amazing if what you're targeting is compliance. Compliance is important, but it's the decisions that are made early that generate unique insights for the manufacturers and actually change the way things get built. So our goal isn't just to, we'll say, reflect what happens, but it's to change what happens by getting involved very early in the process.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, great work. I've always found that the lack of credible product level data to be a major limitation, still is today. To what extent is that a risk for you all, or do you have a hand in helping deploy more LCA practitioners to create those? And
it's exactly this. To the your last point about practitioners, our goal is to build tools with nice guardrails that non-experts can use. This is what's allowed us to achieve the scale so far. In terms of product level data, it is messy. And I think there was something, we'll say, that we all looked forward to under a different version of the EPA and the IRA funding that was going to make this much easier for everybody. That evaporated, and that has the perverse